strap and slipping what looked like a bracelet of prayer beads into one pocket. He was frail, skinny, and weathered, with the posture and gait of an old train conductor who's seen too many rides. Not the kind of man you'd want standing next to you in a bar fight. Pacenza straightened up from the map and squinted at the intruder. Two of the men swept their bush shirts open and touched their Glocks. "Who the hell's this vagrant?" Pacenza said to Thane. "Take it easy," Thane said. "He's mine." The man walked under the camouflage net, but he remained outside the package perimeter, just listening as Pacenza turned back to finish briefing his men. "Truck 1, Pacenza said. Remember, your only objective is to wrap this guy up, grab him, and get out of Dodge. 2 and 3, when we move, head straight for the choke point." His men nodded, and a few gave a thumbs up. "Thane?" "His target's elusive," Thane said to the men. "He never shows his face." He looked briefly at the stranger, then turned back again. "The asset will lead us right to him, but we'll only get this one shot." Again, the operators nodded while peering over at the weird interloper. Pacenza said, "All right, mount up." And they began moving toward the Land Rovers. The man ambled up to Thane. They didn't shake hands, and he ignored the glares of the operators and the smirks of the CIA agents. The expression on his mahogany features was indiscernible, though his deep, dark eyes beneath the floppy brim of his hat seemed to tell tales of pain. Thane made no small talk. There was something in the man's demeanor he didn't want to disturb. "You ready?" Thane said. "I am," said the man in a Portuguese accent. He glanced anxiously at the operators. "And are they?" "Pit bulls are always ready," the man sighed almost mournfully and said, "May I ask about the bad ones?" He had a voice like gravel mixed with honey. "They were about 14 kilometers away, I'd say 30 minutes. The man nodded, then looked over at Thane's shoulder at the CIA agents. They had already loaded the drone into an open-top box that looked like a luggage carrier atop the minibus. They had the doors open. The woman was climbing into the rear cargo compartment, and 2 male agents in civilian Brazilian garb were standing by. One of them smiled at the man and swept an inviting arm toward the bus like a chauffeur. The man didn't smile back, but he crossed himself. He walked past Thane toward the combi, his gait still crooked as if one hip ached, and all the operators followed him with suspicious eyes. They were accustomed to working with some strange characters, but having an entire kinetic mission depending on one hobo seemed over the top. The man climbed into the cargo compartment beside the woman and slid the door shut. The other 2 CIA agents looked at Thane, who twirled a finger in the air. Then they jumped in the front, and the combi took off through the jungle in a tire spray of mud. Thane turned to the package and barked, "We're rolling now!" The operators turned over their Land Rovers and gunned the engines. Pacenza held back for a moment and gripped Thane's arm. "Okay, Thane, spill it. Who is that dude?" Thane looked down at Pacenza's grip, then up at his face. "They call him Perdido." "What's that mean?" "The lost one," said Thane. 1. The tri-border area of South America, where the fingers of Paraguay, Argentina, and Brazil reach out to touch, is one of the most dangerous places on Earth. And the mischief that flows out of the tri-border easily makes its way to Rio. Cocaine is harvested there by the bushel. Drug kingpins rule, and bandits and terrorists ply their trades while paying off policemen and politicians. Hezbollah, the notorious terror proxy of Iran, ships boatloads of mind-altering treats from Rio de Janeiro to Europe, earning their keep for Tehran. The Commando Vermelho, the vicious Brazilian gun-running and drug cartel, rules the streets of Rio with an iron fist. But there's always room for good business. You can buy and sell nearly anything in the TBA, except for a nuclear warhead. Odds are, however, that's coming soon. The combi minibus rumbled out from the jungle hills, where the muddy tracks became the broken lane of Rua Tenente Marcio Pinto, and crooked mountain huts kissed the road, and it headed down slope for the favela called